When I think about how much I like accounting and when I think about how much I like teaching, I feel so fortunate to get to teach accounting. One of my very favorite classes to teach is Introductory Financial Accounting, and I think one of the reasons I like that class so much is because students come into that class really having no idea what they're about to get into. In fact, most of them think it's going to be another math class. So I get to explain to them, see this stuff we're studying? It really matters to people. Investors, creditors, they make real decisions, they value companies based on what we're learning in class. And it's bringing that reality into class that I hope motivates them to study the material.
So what do accountants do? They measure business activity and they communicate. That communication is used by people to make decisions.
And so I like getting to be their first look into the discipline when they realize accounting is not another math class. It's much different than that. It's really interesting for me to see their minds change from what they thought it was going to be to seeing what it really is.
So how do you make a good decision, everybody? You need information. Well, how do you get information? You get accountants.
Another thing I like to do in class is have some fun. When you think about, don't just walk into the class and jump right into the material that day, but talk about current events.
All right, now I thought I would bring in some real financial statements. You ready?
So we might go over a stock price chart. We might go over a Wall Street Journal article. And it's kind of a way to start students thinking about the day before we just jump right into the material.
So if you happen to have owned 10% of Buckle last year, then 10% of that $97 million in dividends were paid to you in cash for being an owner.
Now, I love teaching because I think about how much I enjoy these students. And I think any teacher would tell you that teaching is not just about talking to students, it's about having an interaction with students. And it's that interaction, that dynamics, that really makes teaching exciting for me. I always tell my students that while I don't mind talking to you, the best part of my job is when we have a conversation. I think we often think of teachers as someone that prepares material and then works on their delivery to students, but really that's a bunch of focus on the professor. Really when you want to reach out and connect with these students, it's about figuring out what they want to know. These students are at a critical moment in their life. They're trying to decide, what am I good at? What do I want to do for the rest of my life? What can I get a job doing? And I love being a part of helping them decide that. And so when I teach accounting, I try to break it down and see why it would matter to them specifically.
Actually, this next part's easy.
I want them to see the beauty in accounting. I want them to see the usefulness, the dynamic nature of accounting so that they can appreciate it. Regardless of their major, I think that they're going to be able to use accounting in the business world. I also feel fortunate to get to teach with many other strong accounting faculty. And we take a lot of pride in our program, and as a result, it's received a lot of national recognition. We try to attract the very best students in the intro level class so that we get the brightest students coming into accounting. And then I'm confident that each step along the way that they're getting attention, they're getting good instruction to get them ready for their careers. And we're seeing the success of this in our master's program. Our pass rate on the CPA exam is more than 20% above the national average. We are able to place nearly all of our master's students in an internship and then eventually with one of the national Big Four accounting firms or a top international company. And 97% of the students that leave our program would recommend it to someone else. An important concept I would like my students to take away is that accountants are not just the number crunchers that sit in the back office. Accountants are most often part of the management team. Often they serve as the CFO of companies. To understand business, you have to understand the numbers behind the business, and nobody knows the numbers as well as accountants.